Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another OS77 cast. This is actually a recast of game number 3 between Gamers League Snute, the red Zerg spawning at the top right of Daybreak, up against FXO BabyKnight, who is the blue Protoss spawning at the bottom left. Let me just do a little bit of explaining here. Originally, I uploaded this to YouTube in my playlist on after all of its normal conversions and a healthy upload, only to watch it a couple days later just out of curiosity, hear my own voice, see how the cast was, and there was no microphone input. So I'm definitely going to be upping my level of quality control. I've been putting out a lot of videos lately, so I've kind of neglected on a couple of them just to check over, make sure everything is fundamentally good. That is why I'm bringing this game to you again. I do know the result, but I'm kind of hazy on the exact details because I casted this about a week ago now. So, the series is currently tied 1-1. This is a best of 3 from the losers bracket of the Campus Party Europe. I believe the second round of the losers bracket in the playoffs. So this was a LAN held a good few weeks ago in, as the name might suggest, Europe, with a nice prize. I think the prize pool was something like 24,000. And these two high-level Nordic players facing off, BabyKnight from Denmark and Snute from Norway. And actually, I saw some of BabyKnight's action just today in the WCS Europe Finals. It was a fantastic event put on. Huge prize pool, a lot of exciting games. If you guys haven't checked that out, definitely go on Twitch TV and just watch out for the VODs. Extremely interesting event overall. I saw a lot of highlights, and hopefully if I can get my hands on some replays, I will bring my favorite games to you. So we do now have FXO BabyKnight trying to block his opponent's natural. It looks like Snute is just going straight for the third location. So if you watched the first 2 games of this series, please do. They were well worth it. Snute seemed to grab that third first in each game. I don't know if it's because he was just too lazy to fight off BabyKnight's probe that's denying the natural, or if it was just simply because he has this third first and then natural build he likes to go for. I haven't really seen that, but maybe that is something Snute enjoys doing. And just to go over each game, game number 1, I'm kind of fuzzy on it, but I do know that Snute was able to come out on top in a very dominating fashion with a heavy roach count and a good engage at his opponent's third on Cloud Kingdom. And in game number 2 on Ohana, BabyKnight had some clutch force fields against Snute, who was just constantly reinforcing with roaches and wings. BabyKnight was playing it conservatively, but slowly pushing down the map to his opponent's third, and then he was just able to defeat him outright after force fielding off Lings so many times and allowing his immortals to focus on roaches instead. So BabyKnight now going for the emergency wall off, having seen those Lings coming in. That's just a very wise decision. He cancels the pylon now and leaves the probe in the choke because his cannon has now finished. Snute does have 2 hatcheries on the way, his third just about to be done. This queen ever so slowly trudging its way over. Let's compare the speed of queens to that of overlords if I can find any of Snute's. Here it is. Wow, 0.59 to 0.97. Not too huge a difference if you ask me. So we do now have these 2 Lings chasing down this probe. They have even move speed or something of that sort. Similar move speed, yeah. The Lings are just a tad faster, so not enough to actually allow them to catch up to this probe when it's at full top speed. 4 Lings here actually destroying the destructible debris in the middle of the map. That would just give Snute some freedom when he's trying to push out and hit the later expansions, such as BabyKnight's 4th, or if he wants to try to go around the 3rd, go around this alternate path into the 3rd in later game engages. He's got Lings desperate for a reunion with each other. Actually, just 1 on this side and 4 on the other side, just wanting to see each other again. It's been way too long. They've been separated from their brethren. So we do now have Warp Gate on the way for BabyKnight and weapons level 1. He did seem to favor some upgrades off of his 1 forge in the past 2 games, getting all the way up to, I believe at one point it was 2 armor in 1 game, and then he went for 1-1 in another. And so I'm actually expecting a Twilight Council quite soon from BabyKnight. He seems to favor that early Twilight Council in his PvZ. Throwing down another pylon here to make sure it doesn't have any artosises on this gateway and cybernetics score. Chronoing out probes, not its warp gate. He's in no rush. The harvester count only 2 difference between the two players, but we now have 7 drones on their way out from Snute, so he is definitely going to gain a huge advantage in harvester numbers in short time. I don't know why my voice got kind of funny there. I'm probably going to have to consume some water. We do have some creep spread coming from the third, but not at the natural. I guess that's a pretty bright idea there from Snute, because if you're a Protoss player going for strong timing, you'll definitely want to march into the third and then just force field off this ramp and force your opponent to come in from the back or something of that sort. So for Snute to have that extra vision will definitely give him something of an advantage. So now Robo and Twilight Council both on the way along with a third. Has Snute seen this? No. So we'll have to see if he actually notices that third base. That's critical, because if he does, he can just pump out a high roach count and take it out before BabyKnight reaches critical saturation. He's got an Evo, and now his Roach Warren only starting. So he's gone for a very late Roach Warren in each of his games, just to really focus on an economical opener. So Robo Facility finishing along with that Twilight Council. What kind of an upgrade is BabyKnight going to get? I personally predict Blink. That would make a lot more sense. He actually has his 2 weapons on the way in this game. 1 cannon so far, and his opponent still has not... Oh, he has scouted this base, actually, so that will definitely give him an informative edge. He's got 3 Spore Crawlers over here at each of his bases. In the last game, he just did it predictively. And it turns out BabyKnight did go for DTs. Snute had not scouted it, and it was completely negated by those just safe Spore Crawlers. It seems to me as though Snute really enjoys playing an extremely conservative safe playstyle until he hits around this 10-minute mark, when he just pumps out roaches or his favored unit. And it seems now actually that he has a Spire on the way, so never mind about those roaches. Seems as though Snute is going to try to catch his opponent off guard with some well-timed mutas. Though BabyKnight does have Blink and Twilight Council tech, so if he's able to spot it, he can get Archons and Blink Stalkers, the ultimate counters to mutas. But now there is an exposed Immortal here. Snute could have actually sniped that for sure. I guess he just does not really see the point of it. He does want BabyKnight to have units on the field that can't hit air, because if he forces his opponent to invest in those Immortals, predicting roaches, because I'm not sure exactly, but I believe BabyKnight did scout the Roach Warren. So this is a Roach feint. I remember seeing something like this on Team Liquid, where the Zerg player just fakes the Roach Warren, places it down, grabs his lair tech, so you immediately think, as BabyKnight does, having seen the lair and Roach Warren, okay, he's going for 3 base maxed out roaches, 12-minute style, better get Immortals and Blink Stalkers, whereas Snute can effectively make his Spire and now 12 mutas and just punish BabyKnight, even though the latter does have a lot of, not too many Stalkers, only actually 9, and that will not be enough to deal with 12 mutas, I do not believe. 14 actually total, 12 are going to finish, 11 are going to finish, and 3 more will come shortly after. He does have his 1 weapons on the way for his mutas, and his 1 melee attacks close to done for his Zerglings. He also has Carapace level 2, so very well upgraded here for Snute, though his opponent does have weapons level 3 on his ground units shortly on the way. BabyKnight actually getting his Templar Archive, so he must have seen this. He has, and now he's under attack. Does have 1 cannon in his middle line, brightly placed, so these mutas aren't going to be able to do too much damage. Is Snute going to try for a Ling run by here into the third? It seems as though he will. Now just circumventing BabyKnight's defenses, not really circumventing any defenses, but just running around the side here to make his way into the third. And now these sentries are going to be exposed. Snute is getting force fielded back, but some Lings leak through and are able to pick off all of the sentries. No more force fields or guardian shields, the ever critical spell against mutas, so it looks like BabyKnight may just have to GG out here already, because he just does not have enough to deal with this many mutas. He's already lost some Immortals and all of his sentries, and Snute just going to be the reinforcer with 28 mutas. He does not have too many left on the field. I said 28 mutas, I meant 28 Zerglings, though he does have 5 mutas in production as well. He's just probably going to wait for his weapons level 1 to finish, now destroying these destructible debris. All of these Blink Stalkers here picking off 1 muta, but the Ling's getting a good surround, and now well spread out mutalisks, so it's just going to be the DPS down the Stalkers while the Lings distract them on the ground. You definitely, as a Protoss player, I hate it when Lings are surrounding Stalkers, because the Stalkers are just wasting their time trying to kill them while the mutas slowly take out their shields and hull. Though BabyKnight does have his 3 weapons just about to finish, and his Templar Archives. Where are the High Temps and where are the Archons? He's definitely going to need both of those to really do much against his opponent. Now, BabyKnight building an aggressive forward pile, and I don't think he really has the means to back this up because Snute has so many Mutalisks and Lings, so this Mutal-Ling playstyle hardly ever seen in PvZ. BabyKnight going straight for shields level 1, likely for Archons that he's shortly going to get. I'd imagine exactly right here he warps in 4 High Templar, going to morph them straight into Archons. There we go. So he definitely has what it takes to deal with Mutal-Ling, but I don't know if he has the pure supply or economy. He has a 3 base economy established. I thought he would have personally lost the game there. Snute has gotten his 4th, but this engage will definitely decide a lot. The Mutas are boxed out, so no air AoE damage from the Archons. Very nice engage here from Snute, but will he have enough to break BabyKnight's Stalker line of well-blinked ground units? It looks like they're slowly going to die out here, and Snute just able to overwhelm his opponent. The supplies plummeting to under 90, under 100. BabyKnight looks in a pretty bad position at this point in the game. Ling's running out, supported by Mutas in the skies, and it looks like Snute's just going to go straight down the throat of the natural ramp here on Daybreak. 1 Archon being morphed in, kind of crowd surfed with the Stalkers, but it looks like it'll die right away. And these 5 Blink Stalkers chase down. There are 2 cannons well placed, but the Mutas are going to focus them down. Look at that, Snute shift clicking. And now Stalker's going to die. A million Lings in the mineral line. They are well upgraded with 2-2. The 3-0 Stalkers just do not survive long enough to take out enough Mutas. And BabyKnight has lost his entire 3rd economy. And right away, he just calls the GG. So well played on both sides. Snute's able to come out on top. So that means his opponent is eliminated from this tournament. I hope you enjoyed this cast. I hope it was better than the other Game 3 cast, because there was certainly no audio in that one. See you guys next time.